Hello, happy hump day. Welcome to all signs. What's the biggest shift still coming in for you this week? What you need to know. So remember, this is sort of if you watch Sunday's 7-day forecast, Monday I did who's coming towards you, and it sort of builds off that. So Wednesday is also showing, the same shift that might be coming in by the time the weekend comes. And we still have a lot going on this week. So we're going to tap into that, see what tarot says. But remember, you can watch Sunday and Mondays. It'll give you you'll see how it all comes together. We started in Aries off at 222. And as always, hello, Carissa. Hello, Angel. Hello, the girl. And Lisa, what's up? And Dory, happy birthday to Dory. We got the Tauruses coming in. We have a lot of Tauruses on this channel. It is your birthday season. So this is going to be good for you. So let's see. Let me fix my laptop here. Come on. This is happening to me all the time. I have too many screens. I have my screen open, but I have my picture showing, and I'm trying to, and I got my timestamps. So let's see. There we go. All right. So come on in, say hi, and there it is. I can see the timestamp, 222 for Aries. JG, hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a great week. I like this energy. I know some of you may be feeling a lot of this energy. I think it's hello, Crystal. I think I've been doing okay with it. I have my weeks, but this has been a pretty good one. So hopefully the rest of the week turns out awesome for you guys. Let's see. Aries first. Let's get in on it. All right. So I'm waiting for 222, guys, just so I can start it and stay consistently. Yes, you made it for the beginning. Welcome. Don't forget to check out her dolphins on the community tab. Remember, if you ever want to just say hi or show us what you're up to, just post some pictures on the community tab. It's always fun to see. All right, Aries, let's take a look at you. What is the biggest shift happening still this week for you? All right, don't forget to check out Sunday's 7-day forecast so you can see how this all plays together. 7th house energy, marriage, relationships, equality, and true love and justice. All right, so you have a lot of 7th house stuff, and that really makes sense, right? Because even Aries, this is your relationship energy for you. So a lot happening between you versus your person this week. So something about a relationship you can't unsee, can't make excuses for anymore. When, if the person is right for you, Aries, right now, I'm telling you, you won't be chasing somebody. If you're feeling like you're chasing or making excuses for somebody this week, that to me is what's the shift, what's coming up. Because once you take your power back, you're going to realize whether somebody is truly there for you or not, right? And there's no more making excuses for this person. Look at this. The Justice card is coming up here as well. So we have Libra energy, which is your opposing sign. So this is about bringing harmony to your relationships, bringing equality to your relationships. You know something, right? And this is about defending your stance. This is about knowing what's right. And if this is your partner, then there's nothing that shouldn't be spoken. Some truth needs to be spoken. There's no more excuses. And so let's see what's happening here. I have the Strength card. So you've been holding back something for quite some time, and you could be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sag, another fire sign. But it does look as though you've been kind of containing yourself here with the Strength card and the King of Wands, but you're getting really fired up with all this energy, and it feels like there's no way that you can keep holding back your inner truth, right? So there's strong boundaries coming in this week, and there is deepening of a connection still this week too as well, where you're stepping up with this King of Wands energy. Something's really been festering, really been you've been kind of even negotiating with yourself what you truly want, and it's holding you back. So it's only going to frustrate you more if you're not feeling fulfilled right? So it's like somebody may say something to you this week, right? Somebody may say something, and it's whether or not you're going to be able to hold it in still and be able to deal with what's going on. You know, you want more. If you want more, and if you're not getting it this week, it's going to be a problem. So you're not going to be, the problem is too, the challenge too, is that you want things to be a certain way, and your natural energy is to go after something, get something started, initiate, and do, you know, do what needs to be done. I mean, you have a lot of courage. You're not afraid to speak your mind, speak what you want. And so this week though, too, it's going to be not compromising what you want. And again, it could be a fire sign, and I am seeing the strength card, which tells me a lot of forgiveness and understanding happening here this week. So for many of you, this is a really good, you know, justice energy. It's like, all right, let's get to the truth and not, you know, kind of tiptoe around things anymore. So let's see what else could be shifting for you. I see the high priestess. So I do see some sort of truth coming to light, something that you know that needs to be said and cannot be held back anymore. So if there's been any silence, there's going to be a break-in of some sort of silence this week with somebody. So you may get, like I said, somebody's telling you something. And, you know, this is going to be you not questioning it. So prepare for some unexpected message or secret or, you know, truth being revealed to you this week around a relationship. And I said this on Sunday too. It's like, it's one of these weeks where there is no unseeing something. It's going to be right in your face. It's going to be like, you know, this is true, this is not, and this is really working or it's not. And there's just no other justification. It feels like if you've been, think about it, if you've been, you know, thinking you're asking for too much with somebody, if you've been chasing somebody, if you've been constantly questioning yourself and trying to come up with different storylines of why or making excuses for somebody, you're going to be realizing this week for some of you that, no, this is just not me anymore. It's not fitting. The shoe doesn't fit anymore. So what else is shifting? I do see the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is talking about you getting over some confusion or a difficult situation. So this does lead into everything I just said. It talks about being able to get clarity and move on. Now, this can show up for two of you, for two ways. Some of you may be realizing it's time to move on. Like I said, there's always that option. You have free will. You have Pisces energy, fire energy, strong Leo energy showing up. But what it shows me is that this biggest shift in your life right now is around true partnerships and marriage. And this can even be work related too, guys. If it's not just love, you may be realizing your worth this week when it comes to hearing about something, getting some news about some shift, financial shift that you're really feeling directed towards. You're starting to realize you need to get paid more for something that you've been putting a lot of quality into. And the same thing goes with relationships in general. It's like, I know I've been putting enough and I need more. And so you're really developing your needs and your wants in a relationship, because Aries, I feel like a lot of you are headed towards the marriage lane. You're headed towards true commitment. You're in this part of your life. You're in this stage now where it's time to grow up. It's like things are happening. We got to get our lives together. And there's no more holding back. Some of you need more income, you know, to have the life you want. Some of you have skills and quality that, you know, you're this leader here, this King of Wands energy, and you know that you're not living the life that you're meant to live. So this week is going to be really big when it comes to business partnerships and relationship partnerships for you. So let's see what Spirit wants you to focus on. And I do see the Devil card. What most has been stressing you out? What's the biggest story this week that you've been focused on? What's been really weighing you down? What do you keep questioning? What are you fearing the most when it comes to your relationship? If I speak up, if I say what I really need, if I ask for what I really want, if I make a decision to really, you know, ask for something something in my relationship, you know, or whether it's like I said, a raise or asking for commitment. If you have a fear around these things, this is where some of you may be realizing that it's time to move on from a situation if you're not going to move on with me. So anything else before I wrap it up? I see the 10 of Pentacles. All right. So you do have some sort of major financial shift that is also happening for you. Like I said, especially when it comes to upgrading money, knowing your worth and expecting more or wanting more, right? But I'm also seeing here that if you've been given so much energy to something and not getting paid for it, that's where you're going to see the shift. Now you're seeing the 10 of Pentacles in your reading, which is also telling you everything I just said. You're on a path to the American dream, you know, whatever that dream is for you. It's different for everybody. But at this stage in your life, you're wanting the dream that you've been, the vision you've had, the King of Wands. And if people are not making the cut, your identity is shifting so much that it's almost impossible for you to fake it anymore or to not make that huge decision this week. It'll be almost something you're releasing naturally too with this double energy, like it's time, something's been weighing on you too much and you're ready to move on. All right, so big week, a big shift coming towards you when it comes to knowing where a relationship is going right now, the shift of it, realizing some truth and something around money and financial gain this week. And it might be also, if you don't receive the income that you're looking for, the money that you need right away, you may just be getting some sort of information around how to increase your wealth and a new direction, a new place to go, somewhere new opening up for you that will increase your wealth. All right. So remember, this can just be a start to everything. It doesn't have to happen overnight, although it can. So very strong fire in your energy, Leo in your energy. And if there are any enemies around you, any toxic, unhealthy people around you, they're going to scream in your face this week, Aries. I mean, you're not going to be able to hide from the people that just are not in alignment with you. It's going to be so loud, it's not even funny. All right, that's for my Aries. All right, we have Taurus. Oh, Taurus got a good number. Happy birthday to my Tauruses. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. All right, now Taurus, this is another big week for you too. We just entered into your time, right? And this is it. Happy birthday. You know, this is a big chapter ending for you, ending for a lot of us. And we're moving into a new era. So think about the last 7 years, what you've been kind of struggling with the most. You know, and it's like that time is coming to an end, you know, so some, you know, taking back some of your power. I have the Sun card coming in for you. That is amazing because the Sun card is always my birthday card, and more confidence, right? More self-awareness. And we're seeing the Sun card, which is your birthday card. So this is a renewal. This is clarity about who you are, what's going on, what you need. You know, something shining for you this week, something showing up for you, a revelation. This is a very transformative card, and it shows a lot of growth, right? So you are, you know, sort of, you know, walking into this new version of yourself after this weekend. When Uranus is completely out of your sign, get ready for feeling different. Maybe you're already feeling it, knowing something different about yourself. Now, this can bring in a strong romance into your life and attraction this week that feels different. It feels new, fresh. It opens you up. Maybe even a new level in your relationship where you're seeing your person differently, right? But I feel a lot more confidence and you know, some sort of leveling up for you this week when it comes to who you are and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your body too. This does have a lot to do with that as well. It's like acceptance of where you come from, feeling more confident in your skin and so forth. So let's look at tarot. This is going to be a huge energy shift, I think, for a lot of my Tauruses that are, practice self-awareness or paying attention. Even if you don't, you're probably going to be feeling, it's your birthday season, so you should be feeling, it brings us all a sense of new soul renewal. Like we want something different. It's like January when everybody goes to the gym, right? And I'm seeing Knight of Cups here at the bottom of the deck, so we are seeing a love offer coming your way. And this to me feels like somebody who wants to express, get something off their chest, or somebody is in love with you. And whether maybe you already know it. To me, it feels like if you're connected to somebody with the Sun card and the Knight of Cups, I mean, there is love growing there between you and another person. And maybe this week deepens the way you guys connect, the way you guys talk about love. This is the version of you that maybe feels the need to open up and be more vulnerable, right? Maybe this is a week where you do open up yourself and tell somebody how you feel. I've always learned that with Tauruses, a lot of people will say like, I love you, and say, I really care about you, like right away in a relationship. I remember one of my best friends who was a Taurus, and she was dating somebody for like 2 years. And I was like, you've never said I love you to them? And she's like, hell no. Yeah, I feel like Tauruses can go the longest and stay in the relationships the longest before they fully trust and open up and express and tell somebody how much they love them, right? And maybe this is the week where you're doing that, right? In some of your relationships, it's just, I feel like I need to express myself, right? And you're feeling more confident about it. So it can be that kind of energy shift, right? But also it can be somebody around you, even somebody that's like showing you, pay attention the way somebody's making you feel this week. Somebody could be going out of their way. They're very attracted to you, trying to go out of their way to show you in simple ways how much they really care about you, right? Maybe I'm explaining somebody else in your life that doesn't know how to say I love you or how much I care about you. But this week is really bringing that in. So if it's there, this is going to be different. This is going to feel real. Now, I'm also getting a message of like, this could even be somebody that you've met before, that maybe you guys were just friends or you were just talking and you never thought anything was going to come of it. This is where I'm seeing somebody may be seeing you different right now, and they may want to test the waters with you this week. So you have a beautiful energy of somebody that may be going, Taurus, I see you a little bit differently. You're looking good, right? There's something about the way you carry yourself. Your embodiment, Taurus, you're the Empress card, right? So to me, you're always about the body. And I always say that you carry yourself in a way that it doesn't matter. You could be wearing ripped jeans and casual shoes, flip-flops, and you're just so attractive, right? You just carry yourself the way you carry and the way you walk. And this week, that's really going to work for you this week. So people are watching you and people are seeing you this week. So be that Empress, whether you're male or female, it does not matter. All right. So also I want you to realize too that you're closing up a chapter. Look at this 4 of Pentacles here. You are being asked to, if everything I just said sounds wonderful, but you're like, it's not me. And that's that 4 of Pentacles energy. Some of you have a lot of fear-based thinking around being fully exposed. All right. That's the opposite sign of you, Scorpio. Scorpio doesn't like to be exposed. Well, you are kind of having to dive a little bit deeper and not be afraid to be exposed and open up your heart this week and let someone in, especially if you're single and you're wanting new love to come in. The Sun card does represent new love. It represents your heart space. So having the courage to open up. Now, if some of you are worrying about finances too, there's been something that's been unstable, for a long time. Because remember, Uranus has been in your sign for a long time, and that's coming to a close. So there's going to be, you've had to learn how to be really stable or really work with a lot of things changing in your life. life, right? And you need stability constantly. So if it's financial and you feel like the past 7 years has been like all over the place, it's going to be totally different. You now have the tools to be able to work with inconsistency. So you're growing from that. And now after this weekend, there's going to be a huge shift in your life when it comes to other areas of your life. Is going to be more of a focus. So you could be having some sort of financial windfall coming in for you as well. That could be unexpected. Maybe you're a little fearful of finances, but that is about to shift too. Things are going to start concluding or become more stable with that Four of Pentacles. And I see the Four of Wands. So you have the fours showing up for you. This week is 444 or 44. So if you see those words, I mean, those numbers, you know, there's synchronicities. You're on the right path. That's the way I feel sometimes when I see those numbers. Now I'm seeing here, you're building this new foundation. Things are starting to come together. There could be a reunion this week. Look at it like somebody you've known from the past. You might see them. Somebody from your family might come around. There may be a celebration. This is your birthday card too. Maybe there's a huge celebration, family coming together. You may get that birthday wish from somebody you've been looking towards. And or you just may have somebody coming home. And this to me can be a very spiritual energy. It's somebody that's been lost for a while, somebody that you feel like you've been trying to connect to, but you just feel like they're not home. They're not there. They're constantly dealing with something, but it feels like somebody's coming back and grounding in and healing. And this may be a moment where you and another person feel like you can reconnect like good old times, right? Now, this could be a family member, right? And it can be a love relationship too, because this does talk about commitments coming together. But again, you are being asked to open up a little bit. So let's see, is, you know, the Nine of Swords here. There's an end to this guilt you're carrying, any guilt or shame or regret about certain things that you've done in the past. You can see that the Four of Wands, this could be rooted in family, rooted in something that you've said or done before, and you're letting this go. So you're seeing this huge shift, mental shift this week, where something that has been really stressing you out or weighing on you is just not going to weigh on you as much anymore. The Nine of Swords is, you know, it's time. You've already, you know, thought about something a million times, and there's no need to stress about it anymore. All right. So there could be some sort of forgiveness coming in too. We do see you finding forgiveness maybe on a deep level, or somebody here that's coming back home, or somebody coming towards you that really is seeking your forgiveness this week. So be open to the unexpected, especially as Uranus leaves your sign, right? So the unexpected, maybe somebody confessing some sort of guilt or shame they've been carrying. Now, overall, the Nine of Wands, I'm seeing that you've carried a lot. And again, I know you have, Taurus. You've carried a lot. You've had to adapt a lot. You've had to be flexible. This week, you're seeing that some of the major setbacks that you've had in your life are coming to a close. The Nine of Wands here, you're the wounded warrior. You have this, the trophies to show. You've done the work. You've been doing the work. Something that you've been battling through and you've been working on is coming to rest, right? You're finally gaining some sort of momentum and realizing, you know what, I'm finally reaching the finish line here. So you're going to feel maybe some closures this week. And if there's been some battles between you and other people, you're seeing a lot of healing and a lot of growth this week. I'm seeing Leo energy show up for you. I'm seeing fire show up for you. And I am seeing some financial shifts for you this week too. All right. So that's what I have for you. Happy birthday. All right. Let's see. Gemini. Gemini. 23. All right. Gemini. What's the biggest shift? What is the biggest shift here for Gemini? Well, look at this. This is why I love cards. I mean, the synchronicities. You have Uranus, and Uranus is going in your sign at the end of the weekend. All right. So, you know, I've been telling you all week, you know, surprises coming in around love, surprising things happening suddenly. You know, it's like that Knight of Swords energy. That's your energy, right? It just feels like, you know, you're assuming one thing. You may make a decision. You may feel convicted. You may feel like, oh, this is right. This is my purpose. I'm going to defend myself to the grave. I'm taking this to the grave. You know, I feel certain about something, right? And then all of a sudden you go, shit, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. All right. Now, maybe you've been in your head about a situation, a love situation. You've been keeping something on your mind. You haven't been really being honest with yourself. You know, you don't know what to think. You don't know which decision to make. All these kind of things can happen. And there's a lot of insights coming in. Maybe somebody finally expressing themselves, you know, they're finally being clear. You know, I am finally making a decision. But what I want you to realize is that this is one of these weeks, and especially as Uranus goes into your sign at the end of the weekend, you're going to realize that, you know, sometimes you just are so convicted in a thought and it's not what you think. It just isn't what you think. So it's checking your assumptions this week. All right. Because someone's been hiding from you. They could blurt it out unexpectedly. Somebody could slip and say something to somebody else. If you've been hiding, you know, anything, or something's been on your mind so much and you've been wanting to express yourself, Gemini, this could be the week where it just slips out and you might just say something and be like, I cannot believe I said that. But it could be the best thing you ever said. Somebody may have needed to hear it. Sometimes when we're overthinking things so much and we react from this place of not speaking our truth, you know, we're actually being our own block to what's trying to move in our life. So you have this star card at the bottom of the deck, and this to me just feels like everything that happens this week is definitely happening for your highest good. All right, something is trying to put you in alignment with, you know, faith, with the truth, with your path, right? Things coming together, and this card does say, you know, you just got to have faith here with things that you're doing, that things are happening because they're meant to happen for you right now, right? And don't question everything. Don't, you know, second guess yourself constantly this week. I am seeing Aquarius energy, so it does feel like there could be a lot of information coming towards you that's really going to benefit you this week. Now, let's see. We have the Six of Wands. You're center of attention this week. You got Leo energy coming in and maybe getting a lot of attention from people that you didn't expect. All right. Now, this feels like somebody around you. There could be somebody around you that eyeballs you. That's somebody that really likes to be around you, somebody that wants your attention. But you might not be even noticing this person. Maybe they feel like you're not paying attention to them. Some of you might be here thinking, I got a specific person on my mind, and I get it. You may be thinking about a specific person, but this is where that Uranus energy says, well, something might bite you in the ass this week that you didn't expect, and somebody has love for you. Somebody that wants your attention, and they're not getting it, right? Or they're not getting it the way they want it, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, this could be somebody that you're not even completely thinking about. Now, if you've also been feeling like in a love situation, there's something you're not getting what you want from it. You feel like somebody hasn't been, you know, giving you attention, and they're just kind of, you know, they get attention from a lot of other people, but they seem to be ignoring you. This could be where something turns in that kind of situation this week as well. All right. So just know that this could be somebody here making a surprise offer to you. Remember, you have Uranus, you know, kind of in this energy around you. I even pulled the card, which means that when you least expect it. And so showing up for the show, what I'm seeing here for you this week is just showing up, knowing that you're being noticed. Always going into every situation knowing that you're being seen because somebody sees you. And they could be dealing with their own down and outs right now, but that could be a confession that's coming up for you this week. Someone may tell you what's really been going on and what they've been hiding from, right? And what they've been avoiding because, you know, they've been unhappy for some reason. Now, you may have taken this as a sign that it had to be you or might be you, but this is where somebody may confess that it has something totally different from what you even imagined. Now with work and money, I'm seeing here the Three of Pentacles. You got a lot happening for you. Keep in mind, this could be a sign that somebody's coming in with an offer, wants to work with you, wants to connect with you. There's an advancement happening here. There may be somebody expressing the need to talk to you this week about something you can do for them. So there is a shift when it comes to your finances. Now it's coming together. You know, it could be a little bit of money or an offer to make money, or it could be somebody lending you money. It could be you working together with somebody so that you make more money. Something could happen in your workspace where you're taking on another position because somebody's leaving, right? Somebody's unhappy. Maybe you're unfulfilled when it comes to work. But I am seeing here that you could be leveling up when it comes to work as well. That's also a big shift for you. So again, expect differences, the unexpected and surprises when it comes to your work life as well. So anything else Spirit wants you to know? I see the Queen of Wands. It's your time. Don't underestimate yourself. You have a lot of fire coming through for you. All right. Now I do see that you could be dealing with some shifts. Maybe you're feeling left out of something, or you're feeling like somebody's avoiding you or not. But you're seeing the Three of Pentacles, which is saying there's more to this story than meets the eye. You may get some information from a friend. I've been saying phone a friend lately. Somebody may have some information they want to tell you. There's a person coming into your life that may be influencing you, whether you need counseling support or any kind of help with any situation in your life. It looks like somebody's coming into your life this week to offer that. And I also see maybe somebody wanting to work with you or work something out with you this week. So keep in mind, if your biggest challenge has been, you know, not getting what you want about a situation, or feeling like you've been left out of, you know, somebody's hiding something from you and not giving to you, you're going to figure that out this week. All right. Things are coming together here with the Three of Pentacles. Now, this doesn't mean that, you know, you might get a windfall of money, but I will say for Gemini, there is something that's bringing money your way. And that's what I have for you, Gemini. Hello, Mojo. Hello, Vandal. And hello, Tito. Welcome. Taja, welcome. I was so in the zone here. I didn't even stop to say hello. All right, let's see. Cancer. Hope you guys have had an amazing week so far. All right. All right, what's shifting for you? Oh, you got the Sun too. I like this energy. I think my Cancers need to hear that right now. I think some of you have been faced with some challenges when it comes to your confidence lately, maybe around friends, you know, with the Sun card, maybe around who you're in love with, you know, being seen. Some of you may be feeling, you know, maybe you've lacked some confidence when it comes to being seen in a group or being seen by somebody that you love. All right, some of you may have, you know, maybe even lost a little hope in a situation, but the Sun card is bringing something to life this week. All right, so let's see what's coming in. Something's growing, shining, opening up, and renewal this week. You have the Magician card showing up for you as well too. So I'm seeing Leo energy, and I'm seeing Gemini and Virgo energy, Mercury energy, which is talking a lot about communication. All right. And Jupiter's in your sign right now, which is amplifying everything, right? So I'm seeing amplifying your light too, amplifying your luck, amplifying your aura, amplifying romance and your creativity and your friendships, right? So again, if something feels like you've lost hope in it, right? Because sometimes with the Sun card, we can lose hope in ourselves or a situation. We may feel like we need to give up on something if it's been around, our identity, something we've been doing that just doesn't feel like it's bringing us light anymore. Feels like we're giving up, right? This is going to be a week where there's a whole new renewal perspective in your situation. And we have this new energy with the Magician saying, hey, this can work for you. You just were seeing it the wrong way. All right. So let's see what's going on here. I have the Two of Wands, right? So the party started, the fire got started, but maybe you're questioning it and you're looking backwards. Do I move on from something? Do I have to make a choice? So I do feel like some of you have been sitting at this kind of point in your life where it's like, I don't know if I can keep holding on to this idea, this thought anymore. It's really draining me. And do I want to leave? Do I want to let go? And it feels like Spirit staying here with Spirit showing up. God right here, the Sun card saying, you just been looking at something the wrong way. You're actually moving forward. There isn't much more you really need to do. Just not give up just yet. So there's some new hope coming this week. I feel like I just went into, kind of like preacher mode. There is some new hope, renewal, spirit energy coming in for you this week where you will know what your next step is, right? And it feels like this love or something that's coming towards you, is going to bring you some sort of new excitement and anticipation. Like it's going to lift you up in some way. I see the Wheel of Fortune, right? This is pretty awesome. Let me get the World card. And I have the Page of Cups. So there's a renewal when it comes to a love situation and maybe even your work, your money, your finances, a turning point here when it comes to travel. I do see a lot of travel, something starting. You might hear some information this week that seems interesting. You might find out that you have chance to make plans in the future to travel somewhere, go somewhere. And if this is work related, there's an opportunity coming your way this week where something is coming in for you, and you're ready for it. It does look like maybe you're making some sort of decision. Maybe you had a new dream about a job position or something new in your life. This week, it looks as though if you were thinking about giving up on that, don't give up on that because it's coming around for you. All right, something is coming back around even when it comes to love. You may have been thinking about giving up on a love situation, and look, you have a message coming in. So just when you thought it was time, whether professionally or romantically, you thought it was time to give up on something, it feels like you had to go through something, because the World card and the Wheel card is a chapter, a lesson. It's something you were doing in the past, maybe the way you were seeing things, maybe the way you were approaching things. Something had to come up, a pattern that had to come up for you to realize that, and this could be your own pattern. Just as something's about to get good for you, you give up, right? And this week, this is where that's shifting. So expect different opportunities to come your way this week, because it does look like some of you are ready for something new and you have completed some major chapter in your life with the World card. Now that could be you're ready to move on from a job, but you didn't know, or you've been afraid to take that leap. This week you could be finally moving. You could be making plans with somebody. And I am seeing making plans with a love offer here. Now, if some of you are completely open to new love, there is the Page of Cups here. It looks like a new relationship coming your way, and you may have a choice. Maybe some of you are ready. It is time for me to move on from a situation and open up to new love. That's the same kind of energy this week. It depends on what kind of relationship you're in and where you're at, but either way, you're seeing this come to light here and expand for you. So I feel like this week is really going to test your faith, and you're going to have some new hope or new faith in a situation, and making plans with somebody that you've been waiting on maybe for a while, that you thought about giving up on. So this looks like a really good week for you, especially with the Magician. So it depends on what you choose to focus on. Remember, the Two of Wands, you have free will. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. But this is showing you what's coming around for you and what could be coming in for you. So expect some love or a crush or a message from somebody that you thought you needed to move on from. Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, you do have water here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and you have strong Leo energy showing up for you, Cancer. All right, let's see my Leos. Oops, that's off. Shut that off. Why do I keep doing that? Off. Show. Leo. Hello, Karen. What's up? Leo. We're looking at the shifts still coming this week. Remember, Sunday I did the 7-day forecast, so you want to check with that and see how it all plays out. It all kind of goes together with Mondays, and now Wednesday we're halfway through, so we're trying to unpack the picture the entire week, and then on Friday we'll look at the weekend. So Leo, what's the biggest shift? Ooh, this card just fell out. All right, Leo, the biggest shift this week for Leo, you have Mercury showing up. So you are automatically, I'm seeing awareness, some news, communication, something in writing, somebody writing you something, somebody who's been kind of wanting to talk to you, wanting to connect with you. So you may get that text this week from somebody that's been holding back. That's a possibility. You may decide to write to somebody, connect with somebody. If you may get some spontaneous message from somebody you didn't even expect with this energy. And this can be clarity for you too. You may find that this week you're completely clear on what you really need and want, or what to act on, what or who to talk to, what you really want. So a lot of clarity with that Mercury energy. This could be through, because I'm looking at love and life too. So this could be somebody making a move towards you, whether it's in love relationship or work relationship. And, this energy does bring travel and movement and, trips. So maybe you're planning for something like that with somebody as well. I have the 5 of Cups here, so it feels like some of you are just ready for some movement. I have the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right, so there could be some sort of event happening this week where, you're afraid things aren't going to turn out, or maybe you've been afraid that things are not going to turn out the way you planned. You're waiting on something and you're expecting it not to come. All right, so Spirit is saying, come on, you have the 4 of Wands this week. All right, something that you're expecting not to happen is going to happen for you. And this is one of these weeks where, it's like there's just whatever you think it's going to be, it's not. It's going to be something totally different. Maybe you're dealing with conflict with somebody, or somebody's pulled away, or you said something, or somebody said something, or they keep pulling their energy away from you. There could be clarity around that with Mercury and the 4 of Wands. It's like finally we're reaching a point of understanding and we're getting it. So there's definitely clarity around somebody who's very important to you, whether it's family issues, home issues, commitment issues, love. It's like, all right, we see a clear picture now, and we at least can work with this now moving forward. So you're being seen, this week, and maybe you have felt like it was going to turn out differently, but somebody sees you, somebody could be missing you. And I do see the 5 of Pentacles. Some of you might be dealing with some financial issues too as well. I see that you're expecting the worst there as well. And this is where I'm seeing, even with finances, receiving some sort of news that could turn things around. So this could be the beginning phases. I know you've been going through something, or you've been struggling, or you're expecting something to change or happen when it comes to your problems, right? It just feels like it's been happening, or things have been happening, and now I'm starting to believe that the worst is yet to come. But that is not the case. It's a mindset for you. All right, so there is some sort of news around money, finances, and health that could actually, change your course. You'll at least be able to figure out what to do next, and things are not going to look as bad as you thought they were. And I'm seeing the 7 of Pentacles, so here comes the shift. So we're talking about planning for you this week. We're talking about somebody reaching out to you and wanting to make plans with you. Whether, so in love, this looks like you thought something was over. You thought somebody was abandoning you. You thought something happened and it just wasn't going in the direction you thought. But the Seven of Pentacles says we're still invested here. Yeah, we're not going the way you thought things were going, but it doesn't mean we're not moving. It doesn't mean that there's no more plans here. Somebody is still invested in you. All right. Somebody still wants to see where it goes. They still, are invested in the connection overall. Now, when it comes to money, I can see that there's a little holdup here. And some of you, again, you're expecting things not to get better, but the Seven of Pentacles is telling you, be patient with yourself. Yeah, you might be dealing with a little bit of crisis. Maybe you have to pay for something you didn't expect. Maybe you have enough money, but you're starting to worry if it's going to continue to come in. It can be different for everybody. But you're seeing here that something is shifting with your work and career, and there's room to make more money. And the way you're going about something might be keeping you limited. So this week you could get news around that as well too, which is showing you some freedom and how to make more money. Or you're getting over some sort of stuck energy when it comes to, maybe you've just been getting just enough. There could be some money coming in to kind of loosen you up a little bit to where you have some more financial freedom. Anything else Spirit wants you to know? I see the Magician card. All right, so the Magician is showing up for you, showing you that you have to use everything you got here this week, all right, and change your focus, because you may have been stuck in a rut for a while, or somebody pulled their energy back from you. But this week you're going to see a shift when it comes to awareness and communication, and it's up to you what you decide to do with it. God's bringing you in an opportunity here for you to move in a new direction and make plans. But ultimately, it's up to how you make it work, if you're willing to make it work, and having the discipline and the focus to change your current circumstance, because you're getting all the tools you need this week. Something is shifting for you. You are moving from a place of feeling depressed about something and expecting the worst, to now seeing that something is shifting in your favor. But ultimately, this energy can pull you down if you let it. So just keep that in mind, all right? It can pull you down if you let it. It's just an energy. You're seeing the Seven of Pentacles is showing you you're on the correct path, but you might be focusing too much on expecting the worst. So anything else for Leo? I see the Ten of Cups. You are seeing here the Ten of Cups, something coming together with you, a relationship coming together. You're working towards, happiness and fulfillment. There could be something around a relationship and spending time with family this week. You may get information from a family member this week. You may finally feel like you are connected to family this week, or you're feeling a little bit of relief with family this week. But this card shows me that your path, whether you realize it or not, you might be questioning whether you should give up on something, but it's telling you not to give up. You're still headed towards this path of happiness and joy, and there is success and money coming your way, even with this energy. But right now, you're kind of going through a stagnant period and you feel like giving up, and don't give up right now. All right. Don't give up during this energy. All right. That's Leo. All right. A lot of this energy is going to feel the same, because I've been doing these weekly readings all week, and it's the same kind of energy and the same kind of themes and the same things coming up and the same things for your signs. And the cards are just resonating with it, right? You can see the cards as they're pulling. So it's sort of like keeping you, I'm trying to, let you see how it's playing out too. And, so it's going to, for every sign, there's some major shifts happening this week that's going to be affecting all of us. Virgo is at, let me see, 49. My Virgos. This is how I read for myself. This is, you know, it keeps me on my path too. It's like I have to remember there's some days that are harder than others, you know? There's no denying that. All right, Virgo. What's going on with Virgo? Love and life. What's the biggest shift so far? Virgo, you've gone through a lot this year. I even see Saturn here. All right, so you've had a lot of delays, tests, and things that have been testing you, right, and pushing you out of your comfort zone. You've had to grow up a lot this year, and this week too is, you know, it's no different. You know, there could be an end to a test. You could be finally realizing, because Saturn energy is big right now, and it's sort of like, you know, I'm learned my lesson. I'm seeing something differently, especially a belief that you may have in love, right? And a certain way you've been showing up in love, you know, and that's what Saturn's here to teach us, right? To teach you. So there could be an experience or something happen in this week that is breaking down, you know, a long pattern you've had in relationships that's been testing you. And so this can bring in clarity with the relationship and even money with you, and how to make money. So when you break past one of these boundaries, you break past through this and you learn the lesson, it just feels like the pieces just come together naturally. So this is what I'm feeling for you with that Saturn energy, and new and exciting opportunities also coming in. So the first steps onto a new path. Now you're getting first steps onto a new path, and you're getting this, you know, karmic end of a cycle here. So you are breaking away from, you know, you could be breaking away from a situation, somebody, you could actually want to, right? But there's also an opportunity here for somebody, you and another person, where you guys just realize where you've been going wrong, right? Why things haven't been working. And that's why you see it's new and it's exciting, and you're on a new path, and you're transcending, you know, your relationship. You're looking at your relationship differently. You don't need the same thing that you've needed from this person anymore. So you've given the relationship a little bit of freedom to breathe. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up on. So with that energy, it takes off the pressure. You and your person start to feel like we can see each other differently, and our relationship will benefit from this as well too, and grow. So let's see what's coming through in the tarot for you. Let's bring some clarity for Virgo. So for some of you, there could be a new and exciting opportunity around love this week as well. Let's see who specifically or what specifically. I have the Page of Pentacles here. So there's a new opportunity here to connect with somebody new, right? That is, you know, getting to know somebody new, but understanding. This is that mutual understanding. This is also money coming your way. Maybe some of you waiting for a new job, new offer from somebody, or you come up with a creative way. You might decide to even go back to school, or thinking about learning something, new idea about yourself. Maybe you figure out a way to make money. This is an awesome card to get for this kind of time, right? Now, this can also be new prospects, new people you meet, right? They might come through a friend. You may know somebody at work. You may hear from somebody. Somebody may say, this person's interested in you. You know, and again, it can be in a business mindset too. Somebody saying, hey, they want to talk to you. Somebody wants to see what you got, right? Somebody may offer you more money at work, right? So we're seeing those stepping onto a new stage, a new level. Now, if you're dealing with somebody currently in a love relationship, this is where the beliefs shift. This is where you know, what you thought you knew about your person is being questioned, right? You may be having a whole new understanding about your partner. You might be like, man, why couldn't I see this before? I just didn't see it that way. Sometimes we all just wake up and the next day we're like, damn, we're always somebody different. But you wake up and you have this epiphany like, man, I just realized that this person is friggin' doing everything they can and I didn't realize it before. You know, or they're realizing that about you. So there is some sort of new understanding and perspective that comes from this energy, right? And I have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So really grounded energy, somebody here, you know, where this is a first step onto a new path. Remember that. Somebody comes into your life. Somebody from the past might come into your life. But this is also, remember, and this is very important what I'm going to say next, okay? When somebody comes back into your life, you have to let this situation, this person, be the new version or match the version that you're in now. If you immediately go back into, think about your family dynamics every time you go home and you automatically feel like that 16-year-old kid again because your mother put you in that place, or you feel like you're the scapegoat, or you feel like you're the one that has to perform, or you're always this person whenever you're around your family. The same thing happens. That's why we can't grow sometimes when we're in our family and we have to walk away. We have to move out. We have to go do something different so we can find out who we really are. The same thing happens in love relationships when you go through a reconciliation or somebody you break up for a week. When that person comes back, we tend to go back to the last time we saw them, and we play from a place of that version of somebody that was hurt, somebody was, you know, mad, or somebody who was angry, and we don't look at the person for who they are today. And so we repeat the same pattern. And that's why it's saying, if somebody's coming back into your life this week, Virgo, you have to look at them from a fresh new perspective. Let them change. If you're already convicted that this person is going to do the same thing, then they're going to. And if you don't trust somebody, you have to come to terms with that. I'm letting somebody back into my life, and if I don't trust you, I have to be okay with the fact that I know I can't trust you, but I'm going to let you be, and I'm going to let it play out, and I'm not going to jump all in until I can. But I don't need to not trust this person and kind of micromanage them until they fuck up again, because that's why it never works. You ever notice why people come in and then they leave? They come in, they leave. That could be the pattern that you're trying to break this week. All right. So anything else? I got the Knight of Cups. I have somebody here that wants to express feelings to you. Somebody that has deep feelings for you. And your challenge this week could be trying to draw new, you know, new assumptions about somebody, you know. Again, if you're bringing in somebody that you know you can't trust and you never can, there's so many other avenues to that. I don't know what else to say, right? But if you can't trust somebody, you have to work with that. But I am seeing here that somebody here has love for you. And this could even be new romance that shows up this week too. So again, the Page of Pentacles is saying somebody may be trying to open up to you. So be open to that. And somebody expressing their feelings to you. Now I'm seeing the Magician for you as well this week. So this is your energy. Mercury is talking about communication with somebody. Somebody may tell you something this week that changes your belief about them. You may get some confession, or somebody may tell you a secret about somebody else, and you're realizing, wow, I really thought this about that person, but now I'm seeing them totally different. So a dynamic is changing because of information that you're learning. You may be thinking that you've got somebody pinned, but you do not. All right, is what I'm seeing. All right. So lots of movement here when it comes to your mind and the way you think. Two of Pentacles is asking you this week to stay flexible when it comes to your everyday you know, surroundings. A lot going on for you this week. You could be juggling a lot when it comes to work, when it comes to life, when it comes to making decisions. Remember, going back, I'm not going to continue to harp on what I said already, but this Two of Pentacles says, are you willing to shift and see something different? Are you willing to move forward and take it one day at a time and shift your assumptions about the situation? Because there is a back and forth happening here. So something is returning or somebody could be coming back in, and there is a chance to make something more stable depending on how we work with it. Now, there could be a new job offer coming too. Some of you may be taking on a new job, or some of you may have more work than you can handle this week, all right? But this is telling me you got this. You're making more money's coming in for you, and be flexible, all right? So schedules and unexpected shifts could happen this week for you. It does not mean that your plans are not going to work out. It just means that you might have to shift your schedule this week. So be prepared for a lot to go on. And some of you, if you're making an important decision around your finances or around relationships, this week you may finally be making those decisions and making a choice, you know, to make something work or not work. Or if you're juggling two different people, you might be finally saying, you know, I think it's time to choose one, right? I want to make this work. I don't want things to be up in the air anymore, especially if it's you that's not able to make a choice. Now there's the Ace of Swords. So you are seeing some sort of truth and clarity coming in this week around relationships that may really amplify your decisions this week. If you've been on the fence about a choice, you'll know this week what you want to do. Somebody could reach out to you, and like I said, I feel like I'm repeating the same message, but somebody is bringing you in some information that's going to help you understand a situation a lot deeper. All right, and you will shift your perspective of your person or the people around you this week. That's what I have for you, Virgo. For the rest of the week, remember, we're going till Saturday, because Sunday I'll be doing the 7-day forecast. All right, so Libra. You're welcome, boss man. All right, Libra. All right, Libra. Again, you're kind of dealing with the relationship dynamics too. Aries and Libra. Aries, all that energy is opposing you right now. So it's going to be in your face. All right, in your face in a good way. And for some of you, it's a reality check. It's like, you know, I can't hide from this anymore. Whether it's professional, again, this is love and in life. If it's professional, friendship, love relationship, if they're the one, or if there's something that needs to be said, or the true colors, it's kind of a true colors thing, you know? It's like, I can't unsee this. And I know I've already been seeing it with my Libras and in my own personal life too. You know, there's a revelation. It's like, boom, like right in your face, like, all right, this is the truth, and now I got to step into it. So let's see. We have Virgo energy here at the bottom of the deck too. So something in Virgo's reading could be for you as well. And look, I got Saturn for you as well. And Saturn's in Aries opposing you right now. This is where, you know, maybe you're being called to tap into some of that energy and initiate and take charge and set limits, right? Right? Yeah. New people always get weird things. Let's see. All right, let's see tarot. We pull the tarot energy. So the Saturn in Aries is really testing you. Anything that's been holding you back, anything that's been in question, you know, this is going to be where it's happening. This is where we're stepping up. All right, I have the Strength card. Courage, inner strength, Leo energy as well too. You have the Three of Cups, a lot around celebration with friends and a lot around friendships and who's in your friend group this week, right? So something major shifting with the relationships that you feel. Do they really love me? Do I feel supported? Do I feel loved? Here's the thing though, Libra. Some of your best friends are going to be your most challenging. Some of your most difficult relationships, love relationships, a lot of tests. Love isn't always easy. So this is going to be where I think the lessons come in. Sometimes, you might think that somebody's being harsh or that situation it's testing you, it's challenging. Does this person really love me? But a really good friend, a really good lover, a really good person in your life isn't going to lie to you, is going to tell you the truth, even if it's hard. And this week, you may be getting a lot of that, a friend, a relationship, a partnership, something that gets shown to you. It could be messages, secrets, or somebody exposing their truth. They can't hold back, or you exposing your truth about a situation. And sometimes it can be difficult and it can test us. And the Strength card is saying to have, it's going to be hard to maybe hear some things or hard to say some things to people if they're not cutting it. But here's the thing. If there's real love there, this is going to bring you guys so much closer. You're going to realize that you can say the hard things. You're going to realize that you can be who you need to be with somebody. If you need to, express yourself and you need to feel supported, the people who really care about you this week and really love you are going to be there for you, even if it's difficult. So this is kind of what I feel like Libra's going through right now. Who's really with me, who's not? And, you will know, because it will scream in your face if somebody is really toxic for you. If somebody just is not supporting you, if somebody's not in love with you, if somebody's not putting you first, all right? You're going to see their ugly side, right? You're going to see it. You're going to see somebody's true colors, because your true friends are trying to shine through. Your true relationships are trying to shine through. You've been through a lot of tests to get here. This week, you could be making new friendships. You could be going on a date. Somebody around you could be attracted to you. You may find out that somebody's interested in you. All right. So be open to that. So I am seeing somebody could have feelings for you, and that may surface. Somebody also may not be being a very good friend, or somebody might not be being good for you. That's going to surface as well too, and that's not going to be for everybody. So if some of you already have all that in check and you're like, Frankie, look, I did that cleaning out years ago, then good. Then you don't need to worry about this, right? You may be cleaning out your closet again. There might be a couple people in your life that are they're testing you too much. It just feels like you've grown too much and you're just constantly being challenged. You're always having to be the one to fix things or hold things together, right? With the Strength card. You're always having to forgive everybody or show compassion or be the strong one. And so this could be where some of you are saying, my energy is just more important to me right now. And if you're not on the same page as me, then, I might be making some cuts here as well. So I do see some good days coming though with you as well. I'm a Scorpio, so I always got to tell you some of the things to watch out for. But we are seeing something come to a head here where you could be celebrating some good days this week, realizing that people have a lot of love for you and a person around you really has more feelings for you than they've been letting on. Now, seeing the Knight of Pentacles regarding work, this could even happen with your financial situation. It could be with other people. You may be finding out new opportunities, or you may be combining assets with somebody, or something's happening with relationships regarding money. If you share money with somebody, or if you have to pay for somebody, or you are always covering for somebody, you may be getting a return investment here. So you may be getting a loan paid back, or you may be finding other ways to increase your money. Work might be looking good. It looks like work is, it's the same. It's moving forward. You are, working hard for some of you. And this is a sign saying that you will get that payout. You are headed towards, the gift at the end of the road here, where your hard work will pay off. Now, I am feeling some sort of celebration too with money as well. So something that you've been working really hard towards. Maybe this week is the week that you get the bonus. All right, I'm seeing the 10 of Pentacles. So you could see you're headed towards the 10 of Pentacles. There could be some abundance coming your way. There could be building something around your home this week. Somebody add into your home this week. Somebody add in finances to your home. This could be an investment coming in, something that you invested in, you forgot about, wealth from your family, some support coming from your family. And it's about pulling together as family and maybe just spending some time. Some of you could be celebrating a birthday. Maybe you have a Taurus around you. There could be a get together where you're celebrating somebody's party, somebody's birthday, and an increase when it comes to your overall abundance. All right. So this is where you're headed to, Libra. Right? Saturn brings the gift at the end of the hard work. And a lot of you are making, you're shifting, especially in relationships, your identity in relationships, who you are, who you show up as, and how others show up for you. That's what's shifting. If people aren't showing up for you, this has been the work a lot of it we've been working on the past year and a half too. It's like your self-worth. And if you haven't been valuing yourself in a relationship, this is where you're going to see it. You're going to know. Anything else Spirit wants you to know? Look at the Hierophant. You've reached this point where there's no turning back. There's an ascension around your value, your worth, your beliefs, where you stand. You're leveling up in relationships. This is, I've learned the lesson. I've walked the path. And now I've made it. And you're either here with me or you're not. So this is a very spiritual energy. You're being challenged with where you put in your energy and where you put in your time and your commitments. So by the end of this week, your strongest commitments, the most valuable people in your life, you'll have clarity on what the direction it's going in. The right people leveling up, the people that don't want to grow with you out. And you'll be making that cut. It'll be spiritual. So that's what I have for you. I have Taurus showing up for you, Virgo, Capricorn, very strong in your reading. So if you are connected with an earth sign, there's a real strong earthy energy, so settling in and feeling more grounded this week. But if you're in a love relationship, it looks like if it's meant to move forward, you're going to feel more grounded and know the direction this week as well, too. A confession. I always see the Pope. Maybe maybe a confession coming in, right? It's always a good pop word. Scorpio. My Scorpios. What is the biggest shift in your life this week? We're looking at love and we're looking at life. All right, Scorpio. I'm head Scorpio. I love that. I'm getting into it. I want to know too. All right. So you have a good energy showing up for you this week as well. So this sextile energy talks about supportive energies helping you. Oh, sorry, Scorpio. I didn't have your banner. All right. So you have a lot working for you this week. a lot working for you when it comes to your life and relationships. It feels like, you know, easier, things should be feeling easier. Maybe you'll know where things are going. It feels like you're connected. I feel this too. So I hope some of you Scorpions are feeling this. You know, we've had some tough energies in the past, and in the past couple weeks, past week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, I think this Aries energy, I don't know. You know, Uranus is leaving Taurus, right? So that's been affecting us for a long time. And I do feel like if you, the last weekend maybe, I feel like there was some big, huge revelations. If you dealt with those, it feels like it should be kind of coming together right now. Because my problems haven't changed, guys, but my attitude towards them, my energy, and there's been a weight lifted where it feels like it's coming together, and I know it, right? I feel good. So this sextile energy is that energy. So maybe even feeling like people are, you know, just trying to get along this week, right? Doesn't seem like you have to put out a lot of fires. I see the moon here too, so watch out for your dreams this week. All right, the past could be coming back around for you as well. Yeah, this past weekend was a huge revelation. Pay attention to your dreams, Scorpio. Pay attention if somebody's trying to come back from your past. There could be somebody that wants to clear something up with you, but also this could be somebody that you cannot trust that could be coming back around. And unfortunately, I feel like for some Scorpios, you have this thing where you want to forgive so many times. And, you know, we are the most transformative zodiac because we go through the fire and we go through it, and we think we need to go through it or something. I don't know what it is, but how many lessons do we have to learn? You see the red flag, notice it. This is just the one warning I'm getting for you this week. Pay attention to some past trying to come around and maybe try to act like you can trust it, and you can't, right? Keep that boundary. Keep that boundary. All right. And this could be the truth about, maybe you don't realize there's somebody that you have to watch out for. There's always that, you know, it's like you think you know, and then you don't know, right? But the forgiveness comes from within. You find the forgiveness within. That doesn't mean you have to forgive the person, or you have to let them into your life, but it's finding forgiveness because some people just are going through their own lessons and don't realize the damage or the hurt they're causing you, right? You don't know what kind of pain they're going through. So as a Scorpio, that's what I'm just going to share with you. People are definitely showing themselves right now, and some of them may shock you. That's the only thing. Now, most of you may not even deal with this. Maybe some of you will. All right, just trust your instincts. You don't, and just be cautious. That's all. Okay, so let's see tarot. You know, the moon always reminds me that keep in mind, not everything is as it appears to be. So that can show up in people just wearing masks, trying to hide themselves and trying to play a certain part. They're afraid to be seen. And if you can remember that everybody is wearing a mask and everybody's trying to hide some of their biggest guilts or shames, you know, you can see people differently, and we don't need to condemn others, right? But we still have to protect ourselves, because that's a card of protection of yourself as well too. And I do see the Ten of Swords here. So it does feel like somebody who may have betrayed you in the past, or somebody that may have hurt you, or a situation that was similar to that you've been in the past. You may be confronting it again. Now, I do feel like it's somebody that may want to reconcile But with the Ten of Swords, it tells me that you've already learned your lesson, okay? You've already learned your lesson. So I guess Spirit wants you to know this. Now I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles, so let's switch the tune a little bit. All right, things are moving. All right, the Seven of Pentacles, like I was just saying here, the sextile energy. You have a lot of support for you this week. Open doors, maybe somebody coming in. There could be a promise this week, somebody making a promise or somebody following through with a promise. All right. So I am seeing here that something's moving. You could be making plans here, financial plans for the future, and it's been getting started this week. So keep in mind, you know, that this is still a slow moving energy, but it tells you that you're making progress here. So keep that in mind. Progress this week when it comes with money and movement and work and relationships. So don't look at everything that happens this week with that moon card and say, oh, I expect this to be the outcome, because that's not the outcome. Everything's actually working towards movement forward. It just, maybe you're looking for this big bang to happen and you're needing this big, huge, you know, dramatic sign. And sometimes life is like, no, it's just mundane. It's just normal. Everything is cool. You're on the right path. Don't change anything. Don't jump to conclusions and try to shift everything because you think something is not working out, because it is working out. And this can even say that you may receive some money this week from somebody or a situation. Somebody may owe you something. You may get that money back, but you are seeing an increase in wealth happening this week. The Three of Pentacles. All right, I like it. So there is some support around you. There could be somebody coming into your life that influences you this week. There could be a makeup. There could be a friend trying to phone you this week. Again, has something they want to tell you. You could be collaborating with somebody this week, making something work. For some of you, this is just getting on, right? It's coming together. Somebody wants to work with you. Somebody wants to hang out with you. Somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody wants to make it work. If you've been struggling with somebody, this is a good week to come together and try and work things out. All right. I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles. You have a lot around money here this week. So I know, you know, love and money may go together for you. Maybe you're working with somebody or you're connecting with somebody and you're seeing that you guys are actually more on the same page. You have a lot in common and you guys want the same thing. So there could be something here with love and money working together with you and another person. But I also am seeing here that you may have a friend that surprises you this week. You may not realize that there's somebody around you that sees you more than just a friend. And so that could be some secret that's coming to light too. And then again, it could be somebody you work with. Pay attention to what I was saying earlier, or somebody that, you know, you give money to, or somebody who owes you money. There could be something around that too this week for you. And I see the Queen of Swords. So you're going to have to use discernment this week. I am seeing Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You're seeing a conversation, somebody wanting to, you know, maybe talk to you, communicate with you, make something right with you. There could be a breakthrough when it comes to business or money. If you're in a healthy relationship, I'm telling you right now, Scorpio, this is you and another person, you know, discussing where this relationship is going. You're going to feel more solid with the commitments you're in. Okay. So for those of you Scorpios that have somebody on your mind that you have been working, you're invested in, you know, something's there, but we just don't quite know what it is yet. You're landing in on something this week. So there is a conversation here around what's the bigger picture here, partner? You know, come on, let's get on the same page. But we're also seeing discernment here, and you know, it goes back to sometimes we have to decide who's really worth the investment and who's not. And this week, if somebody's trying to talk to you, connect with you, you have to ask yourself, can I really trust this person? Bottom line, Scorpio. All right. Because you're willing to forgive so easily, and you want to make sure that this person isn't coming in to take more from you. It could be just somebody that, you know, always takes your energy, somebody that is a love relationship, but you always end up giving more. There could be a broken promise, you know, and you're like, oh, here we go again. Because remember, the Ten of Swords is somebody that keeps making the same promise and you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. So on the flip side of that, watch out for that. On the good side of that, you've got something beautiful here happening in a love relationship. You'll know where it's going by the end of the week. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini is very strong for you. All right. Discernment. Love you guys. All right. Sagittarius. Are you guys liking these reads today? What do you think? What do you think of the setup? I've done this setup before for the weekly readings, but I've been going back to it. And to me, it feels like it's purposeful. Sagittarius. All right. Hello, JM. I saw a lot of new people again in here today, and I didn't call you out. I see Cassius, Queen Tiki, Lori's here. Happy birthday again. And I know there was a lot of people, but I just kept going and going and going. All right, Sagittarius. The saga continues. You've already, I don't know. It's the same story this week that you've been getting from me all week, okay? If you want passion and I don't know, maybe you're in heat. I don't know. Maybe you're just in this time where you're just like, all right, I need some spice. It's the same theme all week long for you. And if you're not getting it, you know, I'm seeing challenging, require adjustments, clashes, and frustration. If you're not getting it this week, you're going to be up against some tests and challenges around this. All right. But I love this card for you because look at this, Sagittarius here as well too. All right. So here's the problem for you is you're on fire. You're ready for friggin' that saggy part of you. You know, you want some adventure. You don't want to hold back. If you're feeling like you have to hold back in a relationship or somebody's constantly challenging you and it's just constantly like, what the hell? Or you feel like you have to filter yourself. All right. If you feel like you have to hold back, you know, because somebody can't handle your sagginess, you know, this is where you're not going to be able to perform for anybody. Now, I know Sages aren't typically fire signs. You guys, you know, we all perform in some way. We all have to, you know, there's scripts for us everywhere we go. We all do, right? But you're still one of the most blunt, authentic signs there are. And, you know, oftentimes people can't handle that. And if they can't handle it this week, you're either going to deal with so much frustration, right? Or somebody in your life is going to learn to compromise with you. Somebody's going to adjust for you. Somebody is going to want to make you happy, Sag. So you have this, you know, I get it, this challenge, but we can make this work. But you don't need to compromise your joy, your happiness, your fire. And this is where it feels like Sages just want to, you know, sometimes I need to take off my shoes and kick back and not give a shit about hurting somebody else's feelings or about containing my fire to compromise so that you feel comfortable or so that I feel like I'm getting what I need out of this relationship. That's not going to work for you this week. You're going to need to do that. And you're going to find out also whether or not a relationship is going to be able to handle your intensity. And I think many of you will be surprised at how many people really will work with your energy. If you've been doing everything, if you're the one that gives the most to everybody, If you're overgiven, Sagittarius, this is where you're also gonna see that you've got to make some adjustments here. You can't be the one that's given to somebody constantly, right? Because you're contradicting yourself. You're not wanting to be the one that does everything. You wanting somebody to show up for you, and you're getting super frustrated because you keep giving to something and somebody's not giving back. You've got to not give so much. You got to take back, and you got to let somebody either show up for you, or, you know, the hardest part is to be like, I can't give to this anymore. I see a King of Pentacles around you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So we are seeing a relationship, you know, growing with the King of Pentacles. There is something here. We need to take things seriously. We need to work together. We need to have a vision. We need to want the same thing. Ten of Swords showing up for you as well. Scorpio just had this. So in the Ten of Pentacles, you're not playing any more games anymore. You're not trying to make somebody feel comfortable anymore. All right. So you have the Ten of Swords and you have the Ten of Pentacles. You may be making a cut this week. There may be something happening where it comes to a relationship where you feel like you're overspending or overgiven with the relationship. But also for some of you, you are getting over a difficult situation with somebody, and the Ten of Pentacles is showing you growing in a relationship. We're seeing money come in for you as well. And we're seeing somebody who wants to make the adjustments to make it work with you. You could feel like your relationship feels a lot healthier this week too with the Ten of Pentacles. But the Ten of Swords is telling me you're coming from a place and you're not wanting to go back to that. So if you're dealing with somebody who's going through a divorce, because that's also a divorce energy, you know, just know that somebody this week may be making the adjustments to compromise with you. I want to make this work, Sag, but if you're dealing with somebody who's going through a divorce, it feels like it's frustrating for you, but maybe this is where you have to make some sort of adjustment, decision, because somebody looks like they've got a lot on their plate, but they're wanting to leave somebody to be with you. I've had that message for you this past week before. I don't know if it was on Monday. I had that message for you, you know, and it also feels like somebody doesn't want to lose you. But we need to figure out, are you just giving way more than this person can give to you right now? But if it's stealing your joy, I don't know. I have the Queen of Cups. There's a feminine energy around you this week, and I have the Five of Pentacles. All right, some of you here may be focusing a lot on thinking that it's not going to work out in your favor. You're not feeling happy. You're very sensitive towards a situation. You're expecting a situation not to work out for you, Sagittarius, and it is working out for you. But it is requiring you to make a certain amount of adjustment this week. If somebody cannot fully invest, don't take it personal, especially if you know that they're going through a divorce, or they're dealing with a financial situation, or they're dealing with, or you're dealing with a financial situation, right? Because it looks like some of you could be dealing with a financial situation that requires adjustments. All right. Now I'm seeing a person come into your life as well that could be helping you turn things around. There is a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. There's a mother energy that's coming in for you this week as well too. You may be dealing with somebody who's having a hardship. That's what I'm getting. If you're not the one having the hardship, your message today, the biggest shift is somebody does not want to lose this opportunity with you. But if they're not able to give you what you need right now, effort, time, this is where your energy here, it's complex, it's frustrating, and learning to compromise with what somebody can give. It looks like somebody wants to, but they may be unavailable. On the flip side of that, though, too, you also have a decision that you need to make, you know, whether this is worth your investment, worth your time. So you could be making extreme changes when it comes to work as well. Maybe you're not happy with work. Some of you could be thinking about leaving a job because you want more money. But there may be somebody that's bringing in ideas for you, somebody that is work related or home related. Somebody may be offering some sort of assistance financially. That's what I have for you. Anything else? Let me get one more. 7 of Swords. There's something about being honest with yourself about a situation this week, or somebody being honest with you about a situation this week. If there's been any kind of deception or lies, that's coming to surface. All right, Sagittarius. Let's see, Capricorn, 133. Hello, Lauren. All right, Capricorn. Let's see your biggest shift this week. Remember, we're kind of going through the week. Make sure to listen to Sunday's 7-day forecast so you'll know where we're at. We're looking at what's still coming in for you. I'm looking at a focus on love and on life. All right, Capricorn. All right, look at this. You're so close to achieving your goal. Pay attention this week to what's being shown to you, what people are saying, how people are acting around you. What's shifting? What's changing? Right? Because there's going to be a lot of finalizing, finishing things up, something coming finally to a close. And it feels like it feels like just before the full moon, you know? It's like we're closing things up. We're getting truths this week. We're talking things out. We're seeing why something happened. We're knowing why something had to happen. And this can be with work, this can be with love, this can be with a friend, this can be with health, this can be with a daily matter, you know, things that happen all the time. But, you know, you're seeing a lot of closures this week. And it's also a don't give up type of energy. Don't give up now. All right, so let's see. All right, 7 of Wands, and you have a King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So I do see somebody around you. Pay attention to the people around you. Somebody may be coming towards you to extend a helping hand or help you with something, give you some information, or telling you some sort of truth about a matter. You know, this can be my whistleblower. This can be my, hey, Capricorn, this is what's really going on. I don't know if you know this, but you need to know this. So don't give up here. Especially if you were thinking, I think of Cancer too, because Cancer kind of had this energy. Like, just as you think you're about to give up on a situation, you walk away, but this week could be, this isn't the time yet. But just stay grounded, you know what I mean? Don't overreact to a situation. So you could find that you got to muster through some information, you got to muster through work, you know, you got to push through. And there may be some challenges that you have to face, but this is the final phase before something finally comes to a close, which means that, you know, you have to confront these things head on. And a lot of it could be some truths. And it could be somebody who wants to, you know, finally confront what they've been avoiding with you. Look at the 7 of Swords. You have the 7 showing up. So be aware in a love situation if somebody has hid something from you, if somebody has been lying to you, somebody's going to tell you. Somebody's going to confess, or somebody you know is going to tell you what's been being said or going on. Now, if it's work, it could be a coworker telling you something somebody's saying, or something someone has said about you, and or somebody could share some information like, I think this person's, leaving, or this person is with this person, and this is what's really going on. And it's going to help you work through whatever it is you've been dealing with. Maybe you had a different perspective. Maybe you thought you were going to give up on something. So wait for this detail. Wait for these details to come in, because we're not at the full moon yet, right? And we are actually headed towards that. And that's the gibbous moon too, which says you're still in this phase of let things come to light. Don't make any assumptions this week. Let people show themselves to you. Ace of Wands, all right? So prepare to be inspired and prepare for maybe somebody coming into your life. The Ace of Wands can be somebody who's interested in you. It could be somebody who is romantically interested in you, somebody who is interested in you when it comes to something you can do, a project, creativity, and being inspired, some fun, some joy coming in this week. So there could be some huge shift when it comes to what lights you up. This can be also if you've been kind of blocked from a situation or blocked from knowing the truth, this is where it comes in. You're seeing somebody want to actually take action towards this situation, get something started with you. I'm getting, even with the Ace of Wands with you, that it's time to find something new that brings you joy. All right. Because the Ace of Wands can be sometimes you got to spark it up yourself too. If you're, this could be a week where there's some new opportunities coming your way. And it's time to close out some things that don't interest you anymore. And this is asking you to find ways to do things that you've never done before, that seem to, if it's challenging. If somebody tells you about something, don't be immediately, nah, I don't want to do that. Try it. All right. So I am seeing that this is a week for that. And you're seeing new love come your way. So if you are single, this is a promising sign that, you're closing up the chapter of being single. You could have somebody that's interested in you that's sneaking around. Maybe somebody's going to tell you about that this week. But again, this goes with the same message I just gave you. Be prepared to hear about somebody's feelings this week, or somebody returning to tell you something. And again, if you're feeling like you're giving up on something, this could be a week where just when you're about to give up, somebody's going to tell you something about a situation that you would never have guessed. And that's what I have for you. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, a lot of water energy, a very emotional week, and a week of truth. Sometimes you got to face the knowing just before it's about to change. All right, Aquarius. Sorry, I'm just putting a timestamp in. All right, Aquarius. Let's see your energy. Aquarius, what's the biggest shift that's still coming in this week for you before Saturday? Well, we're going up towards Saturday, from now to Saturday. And let's see, for Aquarius, the biggest shift yet to happen this week. Well, you have sextile here too, so in the second house. So big shift around your material possessions, your money, your work, your income, your values. Some of you may be doing something about or spending money on yourself, spending money on what makes you feel good, spending money on your possessions, right? Or even your looks, right? You know, buying something nice, right? Feeling good. So this could be a really good week that shifts when it comes to your value, which means adding value. Somebody could be coming into your life that adds value. Somebody could be buying you something. You could be, you know, meeting somebody that's got it made. Or maybe a position opens up where you're making more money or you're just focusing on your income, right? So there's a big, huge shift when it comes to that. Something around your home and maybe buying a home, maybe making space for somebody to join your home, right? So it does feel sort of like a glam up. What do you call it? A glow up. Like some of you just really wanting to look good, feel good, buy stuff, you know, and it reminds me of The Secret. Like, you know, what's your home life look like? Do you have space in your house for a lover to come to live with you, to be there? Does it look like home? Or do you have your dog sleeping on the bed with you, which is fine. But if you're, you know, in a sense, right, you're not making space for a partner. So a lot shifting here for you. And it seems like money, your value, your work is connected to your love life. So you could be meeting somebody through this too. You know, you and another person could be realizing the value of your connection and how, you know, it takes two and two combining. You could be combining incomes or deciding to become a unit, you know, not just a date anymore. Look at this, Six of Wands. Six of Wands, a new status for you. You're looking good this week. Looks like this could be a week of you really showing up. So success is a big shift for you. Confidence is a big shift for you. Being able to purchase something or leveling up in a job or leveling up a status in a relationship. You're being seen and people want to be around you. You're looking good. And if you're not, and you're saying to me, this does not sound like me, God is saying, this is what you should be working on, because this could be what you're lacking in or what's keeping you from opening up to what it is you want. If you don't feel confident or don't know your value, or you feel insecure about your money, work, or income, or don't feel secure in yourself or your situation, you're not going to let people in. You're kind of waiting for somebody just to be in love with you for who you are, but you don't even like what you are doing or what you have. You may have a lot of great ideas. So this could be the moment where the shift is coming in, where you finally take action through discipline. But if this is you, you're looking great, you're looking good, and it's all happening, you could be leveling up here, like I said, where, you know, you get a raise, you get a promotion, or you're stepping out into the public, you know, saying, this is my man, this is my woman, this is my person, right? Or you don't have to say that, because some people don't like to say that. This is just my partner, you know? But you have a really awesome week coming in, the rest of the week coming in. I see the Ace of Swords always brings maybe something legal or something, some truth being exposed, right? Clarity around your situation, documents, signing things, purchasing things, you know, seeing clear this vision of yourself, what you want, what you need. So having this conversation this week around what you need. You might get some insight around what's been bothering you, or something that comes up around your family or home life or relationship. Somebody may open up and give you clarity on what it is you need to know. You know, this could even be a new job application for some of you if you're looking for a shift in your life. And purchases, you know, buying something big this week. If it's a go, that's showing me a go. Now I am seeing the Lovers card for you this week too. So a big shift in your whole attitude around love. So you are attracting in what you're being. So remember that. I think that's why I threw that little kind of curveball at you a few minutes ago, is the Lovers card. The Lovers, I can pull the Lovers card for you all day long, and it can tell you that love's around you and somebody's in love with you, or you're building a love relationship. But your person of interest is also a reflection to what's going on with you. So if you're struggling with your partner and you don't know your worth, they're reflecting back to you your biggest fears. So if there's a separation, you may have some sort of clarity this week on what it is you're telling yourself and why something keeps coming up between you and another person. So there's a mirroring effect. And oftentimes I feel like people hear the word mirror and it makes you feel comfortable or good. Like, oh, okay, so they're just like me, or they're feeling just like me. That's not what it means. It means that they're reflecting back to you what you truly believe is happening. And so whatever is going on in your inner world is what's playing out in your outer world. And as soon as you believe, because the Ace of Swords is shifting your belief, the truth about yourself, as soon as you believe that you're worthy of this person is going to start valuing you. That's how it works. You have to value yourself first. So there's a huge shift there with that. Maybe you're realizing this week that somebody's just in love with you. For those of you that already know your value, you're like, I got this nabbed. I got this down. I know this, right? It looks like here, you know, you are connecting or communicating with somebody on a deeper level. You have a Gemini energy there for you. 7 of Wands. There could be some conflict or challenges this week when it comes to people in your life, and you're going to have to speak some truth. But this is also discipline too. So this week you may need to step up and you know what you need to do. You know, the 7 of Wands, God can tell you all you can get all the insight. People can tell you all day long what you need to do, but you got to do it. The 7 of Wands says it's challenging, but you know, only you can open up the door and go. You know, you have very supportive energies around you, helpful people, somebody around you that is willing to help you out if you need the help. But also I'm seeing for some of you, you need to defend yourself and speak your truth when it comes to a love situation, and don't be afraid to speak your truth, right? Sometimes you got to call it as it is. Now I'm also seeing the Page of Cups. There could be something around a child this week. You know, this could be creating boundaries with a child. This could be a conversation around children. Something happening in your home life around children that is also affecting your love life. And that could be some truth you're hearing about as well. And, you know, there could be a message coming from your child, and there also could be a new love and relationship starting. So this could be a good week too, where you hear about a new relationship. That can also be a relationship deepening, where somebody's telling you how they really feel. So I love you guys. That's what I have for my Aquarians. And Pisces, we are finishing it up. Awesome. So not quite as long as Monday, but I think it was perfect time. Hello, Debbie. You're welcome. All right. All right, Pisces. All right, what's the biggest shift still to come for my Pisces? All right, Pisces, so all this is new energy for you. All right, you've had a lot of shit going on in your sign for a long time, and so now you're getting this new energy and it's time to kind of use it. Now you have sextile here as well too, so it feels like this is an easier energy for you. You know, something's developing between you and other people in your life. You're feeling more supported this week. There could be many opportunities that come in for you still, where it just feels like, you know what, it feels like, life's working for me again, in a sense. You have full moon energy showing up for you as well. So a blessing coming in. The full moon manifests things, that need to finally go. Full clarity, recharging your energy. This is your energy, Pisces. So you're seeing clearly, and if there's anything from the past still around, you're letting go of it. There's been this, what's no longer serving you has to go. So this week, it kind of feels like maybe you're feeling a little bit more at ease about the choices that you've made. And if things have been foggy, or somebody's been indirect or kind of skirting around, or you've been circling around things, or you just feel a little bit uncertainty around situations, this is going to be the week where direct conversation, it's time to face some sort of truth here, so somebody finally speaking their truth, not tiptoeing around you anymore, telling you exactly how they feel, not leaving you in a place of guessing constantly. If you've been wondering, even in yourself, what do I want? What do I need? I'm constantly wanting this, but I have so much fear. All that shit's going out the door. You're coming into a new version of yourself as well. So you may find yourself this week finally feeling differently and expressing yourself directly to somebody that you want to talk to. And you may realize that there's a blessing in that. And somebody may finally directly, not indirectly, not play any games or beat around the bush with you this week. Could be love. It could be professional. This is also full moon manifestation this week. So something you've been working on, maybe you let go of something, you put something down, it was still working for you, something could manifest. A new project, new idea. But the strongest thing I'm getting is there's no more dancing around a topic, a subject. It's getting straight to the point. And I'm seeing letting go of the past and moving on. You have the Star card here. It's like, I think Cancer had this too, newfound faith, trust again, a new trust. You have a new purpose coming in for you. And maybe this week, things are coming up. This full moon energy is showing you where your talents are, showing you where your gifts are, showing you where you've been hiding from yourself, show you where you've been hiding out of anxiety, right? And it just feels like, remember, North Node is in Pisces right now. And so you're getting, like, it's going to be leaving Pisces soon. So this whole time period has been getting us to really, be in the right direction, following our North Star. And this, to me, where it's finally manifesting the clarity of direction of where things are going. So direct is what's happening, and a new direction is what's opening up. And seeing finally the light. Maybe some of you just went through the fog for so long, or you've gone through a divorce, or you break up, or, I say that because a lot of you are here for love. And usually a lot of us are going through some sort of, or have gone through some sort of uncertainty or tower moment with a love situation. That's all ending. And if somebody has something to say to you still, They're coming in to say it. You have Aquarius energy, so something in Aquarius's reading may be for you. The Judgment card is coming in. There's forgiveness. There is a revelation. There is this moment of, I am no longer judging. I'm not going to let anybody judge me for my past. That's a really big one. I don't care. There's only one person that can judge you. This is releasing any judgments you have about yourself or others. Huge awakening and a new direction this week by Saturday on where your relationship is going. So even if it's work related, you have the truth coming out about the direction that you're on. So if you're not happy, you may make some important decision here that's going to change the rest of your life. Because the Judgment card does that. You know, you make an important decision and we are moving on a new path where we're finding forgiveness. We're moving forward. We're giving ourselves a second chance. Could be around a marriage. And look at that, 4 of Wands. Could be around a marriage. Some of you could be rekindling a marriage. Some of you, somebody could be coming back home or wanting to come back home. Somebody could want to commit to you. This is a strong commitment. Something you've been circling around with somebody or circling around in your mind. Hold on, I got to get a drink of water. This is really big for you because somebody may have been afraid to be judged by you because of a past they've had, or you have had a past with somebody and you're like, we're never going to be able to reconcile this. This kind of energy shows like somebody's been wanting to say something, whether it's you or another person. And this is going to be the week where we get to the point. And it does look like a celebration this week, a milestone of, you know, we don't ever have to go back to the past. We don't have to do this anymore. We're finally in a place where we're comfortable, happy, and we're able to move forward. There could be an event that you go to this week that you meet with somebody that you didn't expect. You know, somebody may say something without thinking, you know, that's also an energy very quickly, and it may be what you need to hear, right? And the thing is it feels very honest. Like somebody may just slip and say something that is so honest that brings you a sense of peace. And it could be at work too, because remember, it's building at home, at work, at situations or places you go with people. Somebody may have judged you in the past and they may ask for forgiveness. I mean, it's a very special week, I think. And it's all around people you around every day, around your relationships, and especially your love relationship. Your person may just finally say what they've been wanting to say to you. Could be around family members. I see the Sun card. We're seeing, maybe somebody coming home, a birth announcement, a wedding announcement, strong marriage energy here. So there would be somebody might propose to somebody. I'd love to know if anybody ever gets proposed to, because the messages coming through here show me somebody that you could be meant to be married to, or you're being pushed in the direction. You could be meeting somebody this week through another person telling you on accident, hey, I heard this, or somebody's saying they're interested and it slips. And it could be a message, an announcement. And this could be the start of a new marriage, a new relationship. It could also be renewing your vows with somebody. So for those of you in that kind of a place, you may be renewing your vows, or somebody really reminiscent about how far you've come in a marriage. If you're married to somebody, it's just like there's so much growth and healing and love here. But also, if we want to, for those of you who are single, this is an announcement or an event where you could, meet somebody in a local situation in your environment that starts a new friendship or a new relationship that leads to marriage. Remember, the North Node in Pisces is coming to a close, so it's got to wrap up at some point. And we're seeing the Fool card for you. So get ready for some things, to try some new things this week. Don't say no too quickly. If there's events happening, if you get invited somewhere with friendship, if there's an announcement, check it out. Somebody could be returning and they are coming in as a fool, which means, look, I'm a fool. I may have acted like a fool in the past, but you'll know, Pisces, if this person is really truly being authentic with you. So if it's a return and they are a fool and they're being losers, or you just know you can't trust them, I mean, you will see through that, because you have the Judgment card. And your full moon here, letting go of the past. You're in a place here where this love is around you that you're going to want this, not that. But if somebody does return, you're going to feel the truth and the authenticity. This is the hugest shift, and happening by Sunday, if it's meant for you. Remember, a lot of these energies too are activated now. So they may be occurring now, but you got to let them play out too. But again, the full moon tells me you should be seeing them manifest for you. Signs, direct, no inconsistencies, this isn't where you're getting the foggy moon. You're getting a full lit up moon, which says you're seeing the truths here. You don't have to try and weed through and wonder. There's no more fogginess. It's clarity. Leo energy, Scorpio energy, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag. Lots of energy for you. And you have Aquarius. And remember, you have the star, the Fool, the Sun, the Judgment for you. A huge call-in this week, soul call-in towards your North Node. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the readings today. Make sure to hype, like, subscribe, and comment under the video what you think. It helps the video. You guys are awesome. I'm going to try and do water signs tomorrow. I've been saying that all week. I might be out for water signs. It does fit for Jupiter energy on Thursday. And I'll see you guys Friday, but I will be live with membership on Thursday tomorrow as well too. Thank you guys, and happy birthday to all my Tauruses. Take care.